Welcome to Awakening, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christian Strang. I'm a mystic, metaphysical psychologist, and the best-selling Amazon author of 13 books. In 2008, I devoted my life to the divine after a health crisis turned into almost dying, turned into a spiritual awakening, and I came out of that experience with psychic gifts I had never had before and healing energy pouring out of my hands. Since that time, I have served thousands of souls, primarily women and children, supporting them in healing themselves and living spirit-led. Today, I support healers, coaches, therapists, chiropractors, writers, artists all over the world in living a spirit-led, prosperous, love-drenched life through my Love Territory Guide certification and my Sacred Spirituality Coach certification, my spiritual nutrition line, and of course, my goddess mentorship. Welcome to your November 2024 Oracle reading. We are stepping into this month of divine alignment. Interesting, isn't it? And November has a lot of goodness for us, and it also has actions for us as love activists. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that. Don't get confused. We're not talking about third and fourth dimensional activism. We are talking about source-inspired activism. But before we get into that, this episode is brought to you this month by our Love Territory Guide certification. If you have a feeling that there's somewhere you're supposed to be living that is most aligned for you, that you're here to be in service to, and it is here also to bless you, you are correct. There is actually a love territory for all light beings who have the eyes to see and ears to hear. And in our Love Territory Guide certification, we give you a spiritual attunement so that you can tune into exactly where your love territory is, where you're meant to travel to give your gifts as well as places on the earth that you can go to receive incredible soul nourishment. In addition, we support you and teach you how to turn your home into a love portal and to be of true service everywhere you go, collaborating with Mother Earth. We've had so many amazing experiences for those of us that use this technology, everything from seeing chemtrails disappear right from the skies after using this technology to shifting whole Earth-related events and other manifestations on earth using this technology. So if you are feeling the juice around this and your heart is getting excited and the light is going on for you, definitely DM me. We have a special happening this month for our Love Territory Guide certification because we are gathering for the first time on 11/22 all of our Love Territory Guides, and we're coming together for new light codes and upliftment because the earth is going through so many shifts, and we are here to assist her on that journey and really collaborate with her in co-creating the golden age. So if I am speaking your language, check out sacred-spirituality.org/LTG, or you can message me direct and I will hook you up with a special offer. Okay, let's get into your oracle reading for November. It is coming to you from our 2019 release, Love Now. This was a bestseller on Balboa Press, and it is one of my favorites because every single day, there's 365 days of wisdom in this book. So every single day you have a passage to read from the divine, and you might even get specific actions that you need to take. And so for this month, for November, there are two specific actions that you are being asked to take. Now, in 2019, when this title came out, I was doing a lot of work with the souls I was serving, and we were talking a lot about love activism. So typically, a third and fourth dimensional activist is coming from a place of wounding and anger and rage about the atrocities. And because of that energy fueling them, they're really ineffective in doing anything more than keeping the wounds active. We can see this in all different kinds of causes that are out there, that the more that that energy is focused and the more the activists focus on making the bad thing go away, what actually happens is more and more of it occurs because third and fourth dimensional activists do not understand the basic principles of the universe, which is what you focus on, you receive. So, and what you are focused on stopping, you are actually creating more of. So that's why it's so important that we become masterful and utilizing the laws of the universe to actually focus on what we want to create and then create that, and really keeping our focus there. Now, this is not some kind of Pollyanna, oh, I don't see that. I don't see that. That is not at all what we're suggesting. When you are walking the path of the highest light, when you're walking the path of awakening, when you know you are here for a life of enlightenment, you have to have the experience of seeing what's really going on in the matrix. And then from that place of wisdom, you are choosing to put your focus on what you actually want to create, what you're inspired to create from your connection with your higher self. So I'm accessing and touching my heart here. I really believe that we connect into our higher self. A lot of times we feel like, oh, it's just from the crown, but actually through the body is how we connect in with our higher self. It's not somewhere outside of our body that we have to go to connect in with the wisdom that lives within us and who we really are. So all of my work and everything that I share and all of my books and certifications, all of this is designed to be tools and give you strategies and solutions and support so that you can stay connected to who you really are, your higher self, and let your higher self guide you forward. So when we're talking about activism, we're talking about activism from the higher self, from source, which is the embodiment of love, so that now we're aware of what's happening in the matrix. So we're aware that the earth is being harmed and polluted, just like humans are being harmed and polluted. So from that place of deep love for the earth and deep love for humans, we take action to create the new world. We are no longer focused on entangling with the systems that are oppressing and harming the humans. Now, this is powerful because simply by, if you shifted your whole focus off of the machinations of the negative agenda in the third and fourth dimension. And if all of us did that, it would cease to exist through just basic quantum physics, basic universal laws. If you understand basic universal laws, you understand that what you focus on, you create more of. And so if you focus on what you actually want to create here on earth, and not only focus there, you take aligned action. This is the key component that's missing for a lot of the new age spirituality, right? Because everyone is like, oh yeah, it's love, blah, and I'm gonna like meditate. And that's great. Meditation's super important. If you do not pair that with action though, and I mean action to create the new earth in your own life, it won't happen. So you are in a physical body because you came to actualize physical reality. How cool is that? But if you're just pushing against what you don't like and criticizing and blaming and, in your sacred rage, you're not going to be effective in creating. Now, it's important to feel all of our emotions. All of our emotions are guidance and communication, letting us know something is really important to us. So when you feel that sacred rage, that is your body's intelligence telling you like, hey, this is really important to you. You need to do something about it, not something to stop what's happening, but something to create the antidote to it. This is like so basic quantum physics, and yet we see ourselves, myself included, and other folks, we get caught up in all the things that are wrong with what's happening on Earth, and we get caught up in how do we make it stop? The only way that, and this goes to your relationships, your work, anything. The only way to make anything stop is to be so fiercely focused on creating the new that it literally just fades out and into the sunset. It's gone. So that is really the invitation for light workers to really partner with our body technology, with the earth technology, and create the new earth. Use our focus to not push against or try to make different or wrong what is happening on earth, but to actually say, I see you and I see what's happening there and all that mess. And now what am I going to do about it? To create the antidote, to create the healing remedy. So cool, right? So we're going to give you two healing remedies today for your month of November. So November, master number 11. Now this is with the Gregorian calendar and, the artificial matrix use of time. So, we take the light where we see it and we let go of the other pieces of control because time, of course, is not real. It's not linear. It's stretchy and bendy, just like money, just like abundance. It's all energy. However, If we're in the artificial matrix and we are working with that calendar, we know the month of November is the 11th month, which is the month of divine alignment, which means you can take everything that happens in the month of November and say, how can I bring this into the highest alignment with who I really am? And we're going to give you two actions today that's actually going to help make this so easy for you. And I love that. I love that about the divine. I had no idea where you're going here. Before I give you these oracle readings every month, I tune in and ask the team, okay, what do my people need to know? The people who are going to be watching or listening to this podcast, what do they need to know? What are the steps they need to take so that they can be more fully their higher self in form in the month of November? So this month, it was our Oracle Love Now and these two pieces of love activism. So you might want to write this down, take some notes, and then we'll talk a little bit more about how to implement. Okay, so your people, this plane of consciousness, your communities, and your soul needs this. Thank you for your service. Here are two actions for you for the month of November. First one, go to a fitness class or group meditation or group dance, go to a spa, a wellness center, a fitness center, etc. Energy shifts and moves at events. Set the intention prior to going into the event that all beings present go higher into love and that they shift up in their frequency to the highest divine love that they innately are. Call on your higher wisdom. Call on source, call on all of the highest light and all deities of the highest light aspects that you feel aligned with to fill the space and support this in occurring. Affirm this intention again while you are there for yourself and for all. So that's your first action step for the month of November. We really want you to go to some kind of event and really call on the highest light and help shift and move that energy. So that is your first action for the month of November. Really easy. You're probably going to these events either way, so making it super simple for you. And the second one is even more simple and easeful in the month of November, and I'm super excited for you to have this experience. And this really can sort of segue into a little bit of drops I've been giving you about the holy days. And the holy days officially started on October 31st. And so I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about that in the future, but right now this might give you some inspiration linked to the holy days. So your second action for the month of November is to have a community meal. Invite friends or family over for a divine love meal. Ask that each being brings a dish of their choosing. Set the intention prior to going into the dinner that all beings present go higher into love and that they shift up in frequency to the highest divine love that they innately are. Call on your higher wisdom, call on source, call on all of the highest light and all of the deities of the highest light aspects that you feel aligned with to fill the space and support this in occurring. Affirm this intention again while you are there for yourself and for all. Bless any foods you cook, and if you feel called, bless all foods that come into the space, asking that the food blesses all who eat it and that blessings of the highest light occur for all farmers, animals, living beings involved in bringing this food to your table. It is a gathering that will respond well to this. If it is a gathering that will respond well to this, say a prayer prior to the meal, asking that love and peace be bestowed upon all gathered. Take a group photo to memorialize this occasion. Consider making this a monthly or every other month or quarterly occasion so you are staying well connected with your community. Feel free to invite others you have desired to get to know and open up the space for new experiences to occur from this. So for this month of November, you are being invited by Source and all of the highest light to go to an event of your choosing, wherever you're guided to, and call upon blessings of the highest light and visualize source light filling the space and visualize yourself as source and holding that source light, setting your intention before you go into the space and just bringing in the light. And then you're going to have a potluck of sorts and invite all of your favorite people to gather, bringing their favorite dishes, blessing the meal, blessing the foods, blessing all who are gathered. And think about making this a regular part of your experience. This is just a smidgen of love activism that you can take, meaning that you are taking action for source, for love. You are coming from the highest light place. So, again, we're not speaking about the wounded, angry, ineffective activism. We are speaking, which is third and fourth dimensional, which means disconnected from source. We are talking about connected to source activism. And here are two really simple ways for the month of November that you can create this in your experience. I would love to hear about your experience. I'd love to see your group photos. Feel free to send them to me. I love it when you all send me photos of your altars and of your creations. In our Love Territory Guide Telegram channel, we share photos of how the weather has changed, how the skies have changed before and after doing our light technology. And I love seeing those photos. I love seeing your experience manifested in form. So always feel free to send those to me. It was so amazing to share this love activism with you. So very different than our traditional oracle reading, but I have a feeling that all the things that we traditionally did are changing and shifting more and more. Are you feeling that too? Yeah. So, and this is a very good thing because this is how expansion happens. This is how we become enlightened, which means filled with the light of source, and let that light guide us forward for as long as we're here on earth. Thank you so much for listening. If this podcast episode, this oracle reading / love activism was a benefit to you today, please feel free to share it with anyone in your swirl. You know, we are continuing. We've been facilitating this podcast since 2018. We continue to grow it organically. And if you felt enlightened or felt uplifted from this experience, we would so love it if you shared it with those in your community or one or two people you know. We want to spread this light as far and wide as possible. Thank you again for listening. I have freebies, meditations, a spiritual healer compass, so you can take a quiz to see what kind of spiritual healer you are. We have transmissions for Mary Magdalene. We have so much good stuff for you that you can download to go, try out my work a little bit more, tap into our frequency a little bit more and see how it feels for you and the resonance. So go to sacred-spirituality.org for that. Again, thank you so much for being here with us. And I don't just mean in this podcast episode, I mean on earth at this time, because what are the odds that we would all come together at this time for the purpose of the co-creation of the next golden age? I guess what are the chances? All the chances, because we planned it this way. But I love that we did. And I'm so grateful that you're here with me. Thank you again for watching, for listening. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Christian Strang, and this has been Awakening the podcast.